Attention gamers, every time a new season of League of Legends drops I basically turn into one of those Fortnite fetish 8-year-olds eagerly waiting for my world to revolve around increasing an arbitrary number as if LP will solve all my problems, and year after year I am just astonished at the exorbitant amount of my life I spend striving to be average at a game that infuriates me on a daily basis. But when that day rolled around this year, the day where my free time would be thrown in prison, incarcerated while I int and then explain about why it wasn't my fault, I had a different mindset. This would be my year. I now had an army of naked-ass Eskimos behind me, I had a master-tier jungler at my side, along with both my wards that snuggle up in there together at all times, and I had the positive mindset needed to stay tilt-proof, until I played my first ranked game. So fast forward through me having to remind myself that I was excited for this, but I eventually regrouped and it was still early. I had won my second game due to the other team having the extra chromie Tony, and I was also switching things up by trying mid because being down in the bot lane as an ADC was basically like being tethered to an obese dead hog during a marathon, so I quickly issued the block to that cock by avoiding that role this game and locking in Project Ice Cube for an enjoyable feed-free experience. Psych, my team's prom queen and Gary the Gator got a bit too competitive in a League Classic whose stupider contest paired with a KDA Varus who under further inspection proved to be the unsung hero of suck-ass-ville, and once again, I fell victim to what will hereby be referred to as solo queue syndrome. And when this happens to you, your best bet is to take a breather, put on some music, lean back and listen to a robot rap some mad bars.
I've got a AAA game in my pocket. Raid Shadow Legends. 500 champs to collect. Hey, that's impressive. And every single one of those champs has a skill tree and millions of artifacts to collect. No, really. It's free to play, and that's a good price. On mobile and PC, play anywhere you'd like. It's the perfect time to do it. The new update's looking nice. It's so good that I might download it twice. Let me tell you about it. The Doom Tower has 120 floors with a bunch of secret rooms to explore.
Let me tell you about it.
12 crazy bosses you can go to war. You can get it now. What are you waiting for?
Let me tell you about it.
You can catch me on a mission getting gems. So much to do I don't know where to spend. Insane updates so the content never ends. Join a guild and get it crackin' with your friends. I'm telling you, you don't know what you're missing. Go ahead and click the link in the description. As a new player you get tons of gifts when you do. Here, listen to a few. You get a Void Champion Bulwark, 50 gems, XP boost, all free, no work. Not to mention energy boosts. You even get an Ancient Shard too. Raid Shadow Legends.
Now for all of you clads and chads that put up with me and my ads, thank you for your service to the Rav, and to the rest of you out there posting timestamps in my comments, please politely lick a piss puddle you ass spelunker, and let's get into this cancer pit of a game. Okay, right off the bat we hop into Shen's POV to meet our Toy Story Renekton, and I don't know who died and made him king of Dumb Bitchburg, but you can't deny he was representing that throne well, as you see him slurping up his pussy potion to recover from the fact that he just got crop dust disoriented under tower. But a combination of him clearly suffering from short-term memory loss and our jungler being in the area has him positioning in a way that just screams taunt me and take me home dad, as he gets the shaft and Shen gets the sack of cash. So then the blind kickboxer decides to test his luck in my lane, and since I am like a horny whore for receiving ganks I don't hesitate to call myself a claw cab into danger so that I can superglue Inspector Gadget to the ground, but I get stunned in his Area 52 bubble and it's looking like another wasted gank until I am informed that some sexy stalker has a crush on me, and since scantily clad scorpions are kind of my type I stick around to see if I can get lucky, and thanks to a sonic shitter into some blind burst we get the first kill, and then I hit a flash freeze dat fat ass combo to secure the 2-for-1. Right back to the unfortunate reality that my top laner just loves giving people the perfect scenarios to say see you later alligator, as he is just about as wrongfully pushed up as a fat dude's tits in a Victoria's Secret bra, and big surprise that KDA Titty Twister enters the area to play a quick game of follow the flashing leader before collecting payment for her services. So ignoring the tilt-inducing top half of the map I decide to go see why my lane opponent is probing his thumb around an unwelcome asshole. Unfortunately for our team he doesn't get any of the prized poo, but I still deem it a killable offense and cube scoot my way in for the slay. But I didn't dress up like a levitating futuristic ice cap just to go sit in my lane, so I come straight bot for a little over the shrub scouting, planning to rip off my hand, swallow it up, then use it as a teleportation device to ask Kaisa where she plans on going unless it's back to base, and then her dead bitch ghost then joins us in slapping her little simp kitten. And this prompts us to march out of there like we own the place, single file line like a big dick posse of kindergartners marching into the river when surprise it's Mr. Fashionably late to the party. Sorry, couldn't get my shirt over this obnoxious erect arm growing out of my back, so I dabble with death a bit and then slide back in for the steal. And you probably think, damn Rav, you should work at State Farm because you are just like a good neighbor, always there for these bottom feeders. And while that's true, the second daddy had to go back to work they get themselves into some oopsie whoopsie. I'm a dumbass as Morg's Q finds a wild sex ant before the part of her brain that controls judgment seemingly leaves the room to take a shit as she backpedals into danger not once, but twice, which results in win fight buttons being pressed, our Morg being laid to rest as Rift Alexa says something that makes me depressed.
An ally has been slain.
But don't worry, I am sure our Legoland loser lizard will make us all feel better as he comes in just asking for the Excalibur dance floor so he can get his rave on with a roid enema, and it's looking pretty good until he decides to dash straight into danger, cuz trades are always worth in this elo as he assures us that some douchey armadillo approves of his actions. And then right back to the bot lane to witness yet another scavenger hunt for missing brain cells, and at first when it appears to be a 2v2 I am all for this edging with death slap my ass till it tickles type of cat and mouse pussy bullshit. But when Morg discovers the creepy Tom and still sticks around to blood bathe her prisoner like a true Morgana syndrome ridden Pepe guy, you already know she deserved what she got here. But not to fear, Icy Ivy is here on the back end of that non-apologetic shitfest to hire my oversized hand once again to Uber me in so I can distribute some frozen feet as an appetizer to stone cold murder. Now as we head back up north, my main homeboy Albert Einstein once defined insanity as doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, and I believe that plastic renekton here could be clinically diagnosed as insane based off of that definition alone. Then I am trying not to stand too close to the bubble-wrapped bride so I don't catch a case of the stupids, and in this situation I would think finishing the tower would be the obvious priority, but she would rather touch a butt and be forced to run around yelling bloody murder while I finish the job myself before making a KDA slut popsicle as a hopeless attempt to bail her out. But hey, who cares if an Evelyn gets free gold, right? It's not like this is season 11 and she can just enter a 2v1, politely ask me where all my health went and still get out in time for fucking Jeopardy. Let's check back in on the red team's other walking investment account and one look at this setup, and I just know I will need some paper towels, and sure enough this overgrown Geico casts his ult seemingly just to make the turret attack him, and I swear to God if this guy was any more inbred he would be a sandwich, and so there's no surprise that his actions land him back in black and white screen prison, leaving the blind kickboxer in a situation that not even Rocky Balboa could persevere through. And then I get a glimpse of that bruised bride on her way up to the crime scene, and I am just like, whoa, don't you think they've just been given enough gold, you dumb bitch? So I head up as team babysitter to make sure when she inevitably runs into what just killed half my team I can at least turn one of them into a dead bitch smoothie and hopefully deter the others from getting any ideas. Then, like a multiple food shelter volunteer, our top has traveled to a new location to feed people as he decides douche dashing into a 3-on-1 is the prudent decision in times like this, proving once again why people shouldn't reproduce with their cousins because it results in players like this. Anyways, we are all gathered to play a game of FAP to the Flapping Dragon, and my thought process here was that if I was acting the part of the piñata in front of 4 of them, then my team could handle the one left over. But wait, Gary the Gator was on a different planet and our pissy prom queen was like farming chickens or some shit, so needless to say I was torn a new anus worthy of needing stitches, and only then did Team Purple Pimple Popper decide that they wanted to fight as Morg greeds hard for the pink ward to make it an even trade but falls short as you see Plasma Patty Thigh Gap grope the useless Legolas. Oh, and just for some background plot development, this bitch's ass must have been jealous of the amount of shit coming out of her mouth all game. And you pair this with the fact that she was just like magnetic to making bad decisions, and damn, make a mold out of this hoe because she is the most stereotypical solo Q teammate out there. I see some forest finagling going on between the blind boxer and the sex fetish insect who doesn't like to be seen, so seems like a great match, but she gets cold feet and starts to flee, so I give her a cold treat to kill with glee. Then I see Miss Bubble Wrap Bitch Titties stuck in the middle of a bad decision, so I say, Alexa, call me a claw cab into danger, and all I want to say is that when I play this champ I make freeze whipping their team look effort. Liss. Actually this was like my second time playing Project Hypothermia, but it worked out here considering even my fuck nugget of a top laner walked away with a kill there. But what I didn't realize was that Morg was doing speedrunner trials to hold the record for fastest base to dead bitch in the river title. And you honestly can't fault her focus toward accomplishing such an unwavering commitment to being the champion of her sport. She even tried a second time a few minutes later. Meanwhile I am over here like an ice cube on a mission, sweating so hard I'm about to melt, doing things like saying surprise Inspector Gadget you a dead bitch now, but it makes it hard to celebrate the small wins when the just obnoxiously large losses in the form of plastic feet or Renekton are on your team. Not to mention that my support was just insistent on being more mispositioned than a lactose intolerant living in Wisconsin, only to later justify her actions as being the fault of the team for just not knowing how to play until she defers to the final flaccid statement of, GG. But this Renekton wasn't about to give up, no, not when there are still hungry people on the other team who need to be served some gator bites, and beside big ol' Rav just got a pick, so he must do everything in his diminished power to make it somehow not worth, and I gotta say it is just impossible to underestimate this dude, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Oh, and then Morg put her ass on the line for a pink ward again, and turns out that line was lethal as well, but just in case her KDA wasn't just utterly repugnant enough, she got shaft slapped in base one more time before the game unsurprisingly ended in a fat L for your boy, where the enemy Yuumi out-damaged half my team. Solo Q syndrome at its finest. Rav out. How can I carry when Rift Alexa won't stop saying?